from a business standpoint, we don't want to be in the position where, the news like Spotify this week that, delaying the U.S. launch and so on.
Right.
I really feel their pain. I mean, I get that. That must be just devastatingly frustrating because they've got this wonderful tool. There's tons of people who want to use it, and there's these built-in obstacles that are preventing them from doing that. We want to be very, very, we're very cognizant of finding ourselves in that situation.
So how do you become agnostic like that and not piss off the labels? I mean, that's really what's going on with Spotify is they can't work out a streaming payment plan that makes it doable for them here in the States. Yet they can in Europe and they can in Canada. So, the Holy Grail still is the consumer in the U.S., obviously. So that's
for us too.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem for Spotify. That's the problem for any of them. And you have the labels hanging on to a staid, broken model. You know it. I know it. They probably know it, even though they won't admit it. You're not selling CDs. You're not selling anything. I mean, you look at the CD numbers every week of the top sellers. It's. I mean, if you can sell 200,000 now, you're on the top 10. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely astounding to me. But that also shows you where music's going. It is going, to the cloud, to the subscription model. Again, I think, I'll go out and say this. I keep saying this, but Apple's, music model, it's dead. I mean, it's, as far as MP3s, it's definitely on the decline. You're going to see prices erode from $1 to $0 eventually, and maybe they'll offer a streaming platform. So, how do you get by these obstacles that, the industry is so heavy-handed and can squash? I'm confused.
How do we approach that?
This is what's always confusing for me.
Yeah. Well, part of what I was saying about the kind of, limited growth and the, this sort of cadre of music snobs at the beginning, present company accepted, of course, is that we want to be able to figure out we think we know what's going to work, and advertising is only a part of how we think we're going to make money.
Right.
We actually think an even more interesting driver is those very music evangelists. I mean, there's been a lot of talk even on the blogosphere today in the last couple of days about, the 1,000 fan concept. Yep. Of, whether that's sustainable and whether it actually is enough to have a career in music and so on. You could say that in some ways ours is almost 1,000 music fan model rather than for a specific band. It's a specific band of music fanatics, and we think that anybody who's really passionate and is really just that has that visceral feeling about music and gets deeply into music and so on. There is this almost pathological need to share it,
Right.
and that doesn't exist everywhere.